this cannot be true.
네.
My name is Shin.
We should provide an education. My name is Cameron Platt. I use the full amount because of the quality, and then we say,
Hello, Baptiste from Paris.
No, me too. Complicated.
me too, I'm past president. I retired last year.
Now the Minister of
But that's not what you're talking about.
Voting for Creative Talents.
I understand that this forum here to attend the 2,000 knowledge and experiences in the whole world. I believe the forum can serve as a solemn and solid
Present debate of each session to discuss together to make every session ADB, Global Consulting Institute, NGOs. In terms of 10, I will do our best to bring presidential candidates. Enjoy your dinner. Thank you.
The key to success is the talented people. Marking the third anniversary since its launch in 2006, the world's best global. In the 21st century, knowledge without a name.
The topic of this year's forum could not be more appropriate for the challenges facing. These three variables are key to every economy.
these difficult times. I raise my glass to the continued success of the Korean economy.
Cheers. And we have another service proposal. Cheers. Thank you.
Going to Macau, we have
개회식을 시작하도록 하겠습니다.
네, 잠시 후 이명박 대통령께서 입장하실 예정입니다.
여러분, 지금 이명박 대통령께서 입장하고 계십니다. 모두 자리에서 일어나 환영의 박수로 맞이해주시기 바랍니다. 인테그레이션의 관점에서 글로벌 인재 활용을 극대화할 방안을 마련하고 전 지구적, 또 지역적 차원에서 각국 정부, 국제기구, 대학,
Now, the global networking age, when it's becoming a one world beyond borders. The key to success.
먼저 안병만 교육과 기술부 장관께서 환영사를 해주시겠습니다. 여러분 박수로 맞이해주시기 바랍니다.
교육 현장의 자율과 창의가 살아나는 방향으로 교육 시스템 전반을 계획 중에 있습니다. 이러한 개척 방향은 전 세계적 추세로서 한국의 경쟁력을 높이는 것뿐만 아니라 전 인류의 삶의 질을 높이는 데 기여할 수 있다고 봅니다.
감사합니다. 다음은 신상민 한국경제신문사 사장의 환영사가 있겠습니다.
저희 한국경제신문은 기술과 환경이 아무리 변해도 결국 기업들이 시대의 발전에 따라 새로운 인재를 요구하고 있고 공공부문, 비영리 부문에서도 창의성을 넘치는 혁신적인 인재들에 대한 수요가 날로 늘어나고 있습니다.
세계 40여 개국에서 오신 글로벌 리더와 설카 분들에게 따뜻한 환영의 인사를 드립니다. 지금 세계는 새로운 형태의 협력 체제와 새로운 방식의 글로벌 리더십을 필요로 하고 있습니다. 그러나 늘 위기는 기회를 내포하고 있으며 그 기회를 잡는 열쇠는 바로 사람에게 있다고 하겠습니다. 지구촌의 새로운 도전은 결국 이를 극복할 창의적 인재를 필요로 하고 있습니다. 교양을 꿈꾸는 우리는 창의적인 글로벌 인재를 길러내야 합니다. 이를 위해서는 교육 시스템의 획기적인 변화가 필요합니다. 인류의 행복과 발전에 기하는 글로벌 인재가 될 것입니다. 참석하신 이런 모두의 후보를 고맙습니다.
Very pleased to be part of this forum and to be back here in Korea once again. I have always admired Korea's long-term economic growth and the success that this country has had in raising the standard of living of the Korean people. By insisting on inappropriately tight monetary policy and by interfering with Korean policies in other ways, reinforcing economic problems. A financial crisis that blocks credit creation needed for growth, but only very modestly. The economic downturn will get substantially worse, longer and deeper than any we've seen in the post-war period.
global 인재 포럼 축하를 기획해 주신 이명박 대통령님께 진심으로 감사의 말씀을 드리겠습니다.
기린 여러분께서는 모두 자리에서 일어나셔서 큰 박수로 환송을 해주실 수 있겠습니다.
Of the whole world. A place of encounter and communication, which can broaden the understanding of the different cultures.
で、世界が多極化してるという表現をマルチポールズっていう言い方をする人がいますけど、多極化どころかっていうのが多分世界の現在の状況を答えます。本当の意味でのグローバリゼーションが始まろうとしているのかもしれない。
다음 프로그램 파리 수원본대전 총장께서 태양으로 참석해 주시겠습니다.
Plenary session today. On my left hand side,
hope so.
Morning, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you, sir? Can you hear me well?
Very well. I hear you very clearly. And a deleveraging of consumers everywhere. Consumers and banks.
Literature, poesy, music, fine arts. Don't you think it's absolutely necessary for a better world?
No, it's not too complicated. My view is that the humanities have to take a stronger role, particularly sociology.
Who has admired what you have done. In retrospect, how do you assess?
Huge problems. We still have a AAA rating, so the presumption.
네, 멀리서 저희와 함께 주실 말씀까지 다시 한번 감사드립니다.
Global head of human resources for the Novartis, or global head of human resources for Novartis.
In a little bit very over our global service, which we do at an early stage, and then help them to develop into global leaders for the company. So assessment of people, selection of people, training of
In an international environment, I mean, not that much of a surprise, and maybe first to also say for those who we think are going to be global leaders, the 10-20%. It is also indeed a way in which the wealth is shared worldwide.
So education is our top priority, and this career where we are today has been is
Ability to speak on the subject of the utilization of high education. No high tolerance for not focusing on the suffering. And wisdom is discerning use of the knowledge. I focus on that group using and teaching as a using as a.
We are finding indicators, but not definite. Generation C, Generation Cyber, at Learning Now, weeks later, issue of English being taught as a separate subject. In fact, English being learnt early because it will hurt the first language. That is a neuro myth, superficial level for a year. Deployed by the gatekeeping of the exam system to my view. Why would you start using communicative practice for English teaching if you know that the parents
excessive leverage. Now, what that means is that investors, portfolio investors, institutional speculation patterns years. It's not avoidable. So it is very important to select for our talented people and financial markets starting before American economies are unfortunately spread for the world. I think we're in Europe. Skills, education, tend to do much better than to do less. I've been looking at the impact of financial who are more prone to losing their jobs, experience.
That continually learns from feedback, interactive discussion. 2, consistency of learners.
Correct. These are all short-term. What are they? Take, for example, the idea.
Last part of my presentation will to take a little bit of a turn, domain expertise, critical thinking skills, and a priority on intrinsic motivation, on what we call a transformational or transactional level to really support the development of that culture. So it says is important, some of the highlights on what this culture might look like. In these different categories of innovation, learning, knowledge, expertise creation, alignment, and commitment. Embracing a lot of differences, and that means that it can also be continuous improvement, although one has to be careful not to look at
as well, or someone that they could go to within reiteration of this. So it's the second time it's gone in both formative and summative evaluation into the program. With mentees and mentors, we'll be evaluating those team projects.
A little bit more structure to the program and build those slots with organization. Thank you.
그 전문직으로 좀 돼야 되지 않는가 이러한 느낌으로 인적자원 개발 기본법을 만들고 기획에 할 수 있지 않을까. 그래서 저희의 그 프레젠테이션을 했으니 확장사인가 이런 페이셜 어프로치 공간적 접근 느낌을 준다.
This came out very nicely in Professor Moon's presentation here. All three-player, it's a camera, it's whatever. We have convergence in economy in some key countries which are tackling the very issue here, which is how.
두 번째 하나씩 퓨전 교수로 계십니다.
Of intelligence and creativity, and I think that without having, this was said in the talks, without having the right kind of knowledge background.
결과적으로 그 리스트에 남는 사람들이 있습니다. 매년 조금씩 인재가 상당히 어려움이 많이 사실 있습니다. 그 자리에서 그 일만 하면서 뭐 팀장이지만 임원이죠.
And you explained about like succession
value proposition. Now, who should do that? I think an external consultant can help.
미국 시스템에 대한 신용 자체가 이제 무너져 버렸기 때문에
今金融危機によってやってることっていうのはガバメントの
주도권을 놓고 지금 사실은 일본하고 중국이 세계 싸우고 있습니다.
っていうのが僕なんかの思いですね。やっぱり
I think they're calling it. They're going to call it a land. Somi and I and our team developed.
Also, I think it's quite important.
What happened in past crises.
Ways to forward this situation.
That I think everybody's talking about at the moment is innovation.
It has listing of all the books. badrulkhan.com.
You're doing something related to MIT.
What school is, right? Now, interesting classrooms.
But most dilemma that, after...
And I'm not sure whether you have already heard that. Korean President Lee Myung-bak.
I think partly it is because countries recognize that
and at the same time can develop 에너지를 많이 쓰는 기업들은 좀 줄어들 수 있는. Produce very interesting episode with 라든지 그다음에 조직 리더십 개발 또 리더십 관리에 대해서 만드는 부분들.
Has had working with clients. Besides what you see in the top right is number 6. Labor is practices are, or do they actually, deplete these?
It means he placed a very different kind.
Developing countries, talent has become. As you can see, companies culture 똑같이 나는데 population은 그런.
There's lots to be changed in the conditions for finance, but that also has very much some implications for governance. Say that they are daily in contact, doesn't say how often, but with someone. But my main point is, or by bishops, or by actually cardinals, or by the notion that they started all with that background. Maybe not for all in the same way, but to provide for that globalized labor market migration. Estimations are that migration, which is very much a component of regional migration, not maybe just from the monetary point of view, but also from the point of view of increased potential to first the question. How many of you have done a more experienced that, so it's on us as HR professionals to provide more into the organization. Prepare the organization and structure. They will not achieve the objectives, but the achievements are achieved later, by 1 year, based on problems, culture, divide.
What if we can harness that within organizations? But it is a highly networked world. When we look at Cycle led an event with Eli Lilly, the pharmaceutical company, about it is the whole knowledge and question and answer approach. Not just that I'm collaborating with my colleagues that are within IBM. If I'm at Eli Lilly, my colleagues who, because that's great, you told me it's happening outside. You told me how it starts to be important to me. Together, that synchronous and asynchronous, those things Ted talked about, how do you make that real? Because of global companies and because of global customer base.
According to the corporation's legislation, which will impact on the training program. So we are involved even at that stage. These undertakings, for example, including usually outside Australia, the nominated position is GHRF, because unfortunately broken by the arrival of certain law enforcement people. That's not a problem. It happened years ago. He says, but you don't understand. My wife doesn't.
To make English friendly, another thing is that local ministry already talk about what is our here for the island school programs. First, for vibrance in country with governments abroad. Actually, this is emphasized by the further consideration for English foreign language and
current areas of World Bank support in India support the government's efforts towards both upward and downward linkages. Quality is very poor, so we are trying to, we are basically to engaging the strengthening of the profession.
Thank you very much.
주로 알파세타 훈련을 통해서 창의력, 집중력, 위기였던 사람이 제로가 됐다. 또 우울증하고 관련이 요즘 보게 되면 자들이 별도권이와 저런 돈이 많이 드는 장비를 꼭 자기가 집에 구입할 필요가 있을까요? 없을까요? 식재를 하면서 이 프로그램 때문에 지쳐버리는 거예요, 사람들이. 너무나 많아. 물론 여러분들 true in the animal kingdom in explaining brain. And I think the brain science should really go into contents in biology, all and many more. All these areas somehow got together, try to talk to each other. This is the term you don't find in a very thick,
in the past 30 years.
Say start off with two comments. First of all, I feel that
increasingly, the second aspect is raised the importance of interdisciplinary.
We have then colleagues from sociology, intercultural experience is an enormous.
You can either way, one or one. Okay. So I call it Barack Obama. I think it's a good example.
Self-aware, but it's also about reading other people.
And so when you want to compete for talent, the ship is sinking, it's broken, you need people to get in and
of communication, but since there is my agenda will start from a nation brand economy. That says Korea country breaks our diversity. We do. He has many comments and.
Hungary University of Foreign Studies. The pace, the time that we spend over there, and you have seen, Professor, it will be obsolete.
Open panel discussion. So what we'll do is, first I will explain.
You want to be, and do.
The largest institution, perhaps
private sector에서 한 3, 4년.
Few who ended up quite by accident.
공교육 정상화가 안대관들이 가져야 될 직업의식.
Would be good. And we were able to create a system.
which is demanding a huge amount of
교육의 필요성은 교육하시는 분들이 너무 잘 알고 있고 그래서 쭉 올라가면서 이태리, 독일, 폴란드를 거쳐서 경제 대국인 대중문화 이렇게 생각하시면 되겠습니다.
Measure it, but make sure you discuss it with your employees. You're a visible opportunity. You join this enormous conglomerate and you can't get out of this.
어디를 향해서 가고 있다는 걸 알고 있는 일하면은 훨씬 더.
And discuss and all your audiences.